Achilles, Odysseus, and Agamemnon were all heroes of the Trojan Wars. Even though they are very ancient and come from myths, they are still famous today because so many films have been made about their lives. What isn't so well known is that these heroes were real people. We started to realize this 150 years ago. In 1870, archaeologists discovered Agamemnon's kingdom in a part of Greece called Mycenae. Mycenae is an entire town that was discovered under the earth. Going through the Lion's Gate, you can wander through the ruined streets of the ancient hill castle with its circular doomed tombs. The most beautiful and biggest tomb of all fills a whole hill. Is it Agamemnon's tomb? Or something else? Archaeologists are the only people who can find out the truth by carefully digging and investigating what they find. To get the whole story, they have to painstakingly piece together clues from an enormous puzzle. But for centuries, archaeologists have had a serious enemy: tomb robbers. These people are treasure hunters who try to find ancient objects before the archaeologists. The tomb robbers aren't interested in history. They just want to grab as many precious things as they can and often destroy everything else. Usually they destroy the most important pieces of the puzzle. These are the clues that help archaeologists discover how people lived thousands of years before we were born. All over the world, ancient objects have become very valuable for people to sell. Collectors and museums pay huge sums of money to get hold of them. Tomb robbers can become rich overnight if they come across a great treasure. That happened here, in a small village near Mycenae called Idonia. One morning, 40 years ago, a farmer was going to his field with his mule. Suddenly, the earth gave way and the mule disappeared down a big hole. When the farmer bent down to look, he found himself gazing at an underground chamber. It was a Mycenaean domed tomb. News of the find spread quickly through the village. The villagers decided to hide the tomb they had found from the archaeologists. Some wanted to exploit the treasures for themselves, and others were just afraid. So in secret, they started digging at night. The treasure hunt had started. They began digging with picks, shovels, spades, and even dynamite. Everyone used whatever tools they had to be the first to find the treasure. They soon organized themselves into gangs and found another 16 tombs. They dug without stop for 2 whole years. Can you imagine the damage they did? How many precious objects were destroyed or disappeared forever? One night, gunshots were heard from inside the tombs. The gangs of tomb robbers had argued. That's how the police arrived on the scene, and the world found out about the existence of the tombs. The next morning, the archaeologists arrived. They couldn't believe their eyes. 17 destroyed tombs, full of broken objects and scattered with human bones. With great care, they tried to save what was left. That's when they made the discovery that would change everything. In a dark corner, a small treasure trove had been left untouched by the tomb robbers. It was a pit full of gold rings, jewellery, seals and vessels. They were all from the time of Agamemnon. And the archaeologists had a few traces of another mythic town from the Trojan Wars. Tragically, the biggest part of the treasure was lost forever. In reality, the lost treasure of Idonia had made its own journey. The tomb robbers had hidden the small gold pieces of jewellery inside watermelons. That's how they were transported by truck to Switzerland, and from there to New York. Years later, an American archaeologist was looking in the window of an art gallery. Suddenly, he understood that the rare collection of gold jewellery in front of him was definitely from Idonia. He immediately told the Greek government. The archaeologists who found the forgotten treasure in the Idonia tomb were able to compare their jewellery with the gallery's collection. They were almost identical. The same craftsman had made them in the same prehistoric workshop. In the end, the collection was returned to Greece. Unfortunately, most of Idonia's treasures are still missing. But even more important than the treasure itself, pieces of our history are lost forever. They remain hidden in the depths of time.